everyone, welcome to today's tutorial, and in this video I will be showing you how you can recreate this lips logo. So it's fairly easy to do, but again it's a little time taking, but let's see how that's done, right? So what I'm going to do first is I'll be going ahead and creating a new document. So for this video, I will be using this custom size document, which is 1000 by 1000 pixels, and I will be renaming my document to be lips logo. So as you can see, Adobe Illustrator provides a variety of preloaded documents for you to choose from. It's not necessary that you have to stick to the same custom size document that I'm using. You can go ahead and choose any of these documents as you like. But just in case, if you want to use the same document size that I am using, just type in the same values in the width and the height options and change the dimensions to pixels. Okay. So what I'm going to do is that I'll be first opening up an image for reference purposes. So I'll Ctrl+O. And here is my reference image right here. So I'll just drag this onto my main document like that. Just bring this a little up like this. Okay. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is that I'll be decreasing the opacity of this image to 50% right here. And I'll rename this layer to reference image. Okay. Now I'll go ahead and also lock this layer so that when I'm making the same logo, I do not accidentally delete my image or I do not make any change to it as well. So that's why I'm also locking my layer. So I'll go ahead and make a new layer and I'll rename this to lips and okay. So I'll be working on the second layer now. I'll zoom in on this a little bit like this and I'll be using the pen tool and I do not require the fill and I do definitely require the stroke to be black and yeah, the stroke weight, which is the outline, that's going to remain 1. So let's go ahead and first make the basic outline of our shape. Right. So also another thing that you can get these images on Google. Just type in lips vector and you'll see a lot of similar images up there. So feel free to use the same image or you could use a similar image as well. Okay, so let's just go ahead and trace our lips. So this is first going to be just the basic outline like this. So I'm trying to cover as much ground as possible and it does require a little patience to get the exact shape like this. Okay, so here. So if it's going a little offside, that's fine. We can go. I'll be also showing you how you can re-edit this to fit into into our reference image. But it's better like you try and cover as much ground as possible, and you do not. That comes to a point where you do not need to edit this a lot. So this looks pretty good. So now I'll be covering the inner portion of the lip. Pen tool again, come over this. I'll actually come over here. No, actually this is like the part of the highlight, so I'll just start from where the teeth is starting, like this. So for beginners, if you are using the pen tool, it can be a little tricky, but it's not that hard actually. You just need a little practice to get the hang of the pen tool, because the pen tool is actually one of the trickiest tools to use. But as you can see, the pen tool actually helps us to get all those curves that we need. This, that. We're almost done with the outline of your lip. Like here. There's a slight curve over here, and done. Okay. So now we've made like the basic outline of the lip as well. I'll just go ahead and also round off any edges that I see to get a much better look. Because this doesn't really have any edges, it's more of rounded edges, if you can notice. Get these two. Yep. Let's see. Yep, there's another. I see another one right there. This one. Okay. Okay, so this looks pretty good. You see? Yeah. Okay, so once that's done, I'll go ahead and also lock this layer as well. And I'll go ahead and make a new layer. And this time I'll name layer 3 to be teeth. Actually, I'll just make the certain layers that I require right now. So I'll go ahead and create another layer and rename layer 4 to be highlights. As you can see, like the reason why I've also made different layers is that because this shape as well has different components to it, and it's recommended that you make each component in different layer so that while you're making your shape or while you're filling it with different colors, you do not accidentally move or delete another component, right? So it can be very messy if you're making the entire thing on the same layer. So unless your image has fewer components to it, then it's a lot easier to make it on the same layer. But if it has many components like this, such as the highlights, the teeth, the basic outline as well, then it's recommended that you make different layers. So it gets easier and it looks way more organized that way. Okay. So now that I'm in the teeth layer, so let's go ahead and make the teeth. So as you can see, I'm just using the pen tool and nothing else. That's about like that. So I'll just end this one like that. Okay. Oops. Similarly, like we did on the teeth, with the base of the lip, we do the same thing with the teeth as well, like that. So if you want to zoom in, all you have to do is click on Control and the plus, control and plus on your keyboard, and you will automatically zoom in onto your image like that. And I'll also go ahead and close this as well, because if you do not close your shapes, then you will not be able to fill it in with colors like that. So what I'm going to do is that I'll select this anchor point and just move it a little like that to the other one. Okay. Wait, so I'll just select this anchor point and just slightly I want to just round off the edges like that. So I want to see on the other side as well. Looks fairly good. Okay, I'll just get this anchor point to that side and click on this anchor point and just adjust this a little bit so it fits and covers majority of the portions, right? So we just have another section of the teeth left, which is this part. So again, going back to the pen tool and repeating the process. Okay, let's go ahead and I'll close this teeth as well, like that. Like this. Like that. Okay. So now we just have to do is close this shape like this and done. There we go. We've made a set of teeth as well. Okay, so it's now starting to take some form. Now the only thing that is left is the highlights. Okay. I'll start with the upper lip first. So again, using the pen tool, zooming in. Okay. And first I'll be making these white highlights. So do not forget to lock your previous layer so that you do not mess up with the other components that you have made. Like this. So I'll be keep reminding you to lock your layers, unlock your layers. So that it kind of gets drilled into your minds. And this. So right now what I'm going to do is that I'll be just making the first half of these white highlights. Then I can just select certain portions of the highlight and then just copy paste them on the other side as well. Right. So let's go ahead. Like that. And this one. Again, also I will not be covering all the highlights in this. But in case if you want to cover each and every highlight, that's completely your call and you can use the pen tool. Like this. That and like this. 2 more of these highlights to go. One more. Okay, do not forget to close your shapes. And okay, so this portion is done. One side. I'll just make this one. This another highlight which looks like the letter H. Like this, that. And I'll just make these 3 as well. Like that. Okay. So what I'm going to do is that I'll be selecting these 4 highlights. These 4 highlights. Right click on them. Go to transform, reflect. Make sure that the vertical portion is selected and click on copy. And I'll just drag these 4 over here. Now we can just individually choose them and place them like this. This one, last one over here. And like that. Okay. Now with the lower highlights as well. I promise this is the last highlights that we are doing. I mean, this is just the highlights is the only part that is left to make. Then after that we'll be just filling it in with colors, and that's about it. Like that. Oof. Yep. Just bring this down. So I'll be adjusting these highlights a little later, but the main part is that we get the shape right. This. Here. This. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'll select this and just play around with the anchor points, make them curved. Okay. I'll select this and bring this a little closer like that. Okay, now for this portion as well. this, like these. This, this, and close. This. I know this is very time taking, but I promise we are almost done. Just bear with me a little bit more. And that. Because see, the more highlights we add, the more better and realistic our lips logo is gonna look like. This. Okay, so now you can see it's looking a little bit more better. Just one more highlight that I have to add over here. This white one. Okay, so now that's done. We'll go ahead and also make the darker highlights as well. So I'll start with the bottom one right here. And go ahead and similarly over here I'll be making just the half part of it, then just mirror the same thing on the other side as well. This. Okay. And continue making these highlights like this, zooming in on each part like that. Zoom out. This one right here, and done. Okay. And let's see, there's another highlight at the bottom lip as well. So let's create this one as well. Oh, okay. So if you notice that if I'm making curves, I'm taking smaller portions, because if you take smaller portions for the curves, then it becomes a lot easier for you to cover majority of the ground. Right. Smaller curves actually help you to make better curves and actually better and more precise, really. Okay. And what do I need to do? Yeah. So I'll select this, right click, transform, reflect, copy, and just bring this one right here. As you can see, this obviously needs to be adjusted. I'll zoom in, select this anchor point, and just adjust this. So now what I'll be doing is that I'll be using this anchor point tool to also adjust the paths like these. And let's see. Okay. This is where I am facing an issue. I'll get this anchor point right there. This straight. Use this anchor point tool and just get this path. This. Select this anchor point, and with the help of my down arrow key, I'll just bring it down. Select this anchor point and get it right about there. And yeah, it looks better. And zooming in again. And I'll be covering this one, this highlight darker shade right here. And that. Okay. So now for the last dark highlight that I have to make are these ones. Then once I've made these, then I'll copy it on the other side as well. I'll actually skip these highlights for now. I want to zoom in. Now wait, just let me check. Yeah, I've actually made some of these highlights at the bottom as well. Might as well just make them. So these. So I've made this one shape. So I'll just copy paste them because they're more or less the same. Control C, Control V. They're more or less of the same size. I mean, like the same shape, but of varying lengths and sizes. So you can just go ahead and play around with them. Control Alt, get another one right here. Okay, select this, get this one above that. This one, get one right here. Rotate this a little bit more and resize this like that. Probably just get the same size over here as well. Control C, Control V, like that. Okay. So now that we've made one set, I'll select these and I'll make sure that my stroke size is one for all. Right click, oops, wait, select these highlights. Right click, transform, reflect, copy, and just drag it onto the side like that. So once that's made, we can just go ahead and just replace them accordingly. Probably get this one over here, get that one here, get this one here like that. So what I'm going to do is that I'll select these shapes again, like this, and I'll just go ahead and make another copy of it on the lower lip as well. So, right, oops, select, carefully just select the darker highlights we've just made. Wait, I'm sorry, I know this is a little time taking. Okay. Object, transform, reflect, horizontal. Okay. And just bring them downwards like that. Okay, now we're just going to reposition them. I want to zoom in and see where you want to, and probably just rotate them as well. That. We just place this one right here. Coming on to the other side now. Place this one here. There. Just don't place them randomly because you just want to see, like, give it much of a fuller effect, right? That. Place this one over there and place this one over here. Okay. Now once this is made, it's done. So what I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and just click on this I button right here, and there you go. Our shape is now ready, and what we're going to do is the only thing that's left to do is to add colors. So what I've done is that I've unlocked the lip, the outer portion of like the basic outline of our lip first. So we'll add the base, and then I'll keep adding the other colors here as well. Okay. So after you've unlocked the lip layer, right? So I'll be adding a really bright red color to our lip, right? So like bright red lipstick that looks good. Right, so I'll select this. Come over here. Actually, I'll just go over here with this fill tool, and I'll be typing in a code. You might want to note this one down, which says F62A00. And if I click on OK, you can see it becomes into a bright red color, right? So I'll go ahead, select this. I'll actually just want to unlock every layer. So I'll come over here to this shape builder tool. And what I'm going to do is that, okay, wait. So I'll select the teeth. And add white. Oops. Yeah. Go ahead, add white to this, like that. I'll also remove the stroke side by side. Because like actually without the stroke, it's looking much nicer, right? And once that's done, I'll also select, because we had made these highlights. So like even the highlights option is unlocked, right? So I'll just select these bigger ones right here. So make sure you're holding on to shift while you're selecting multiple shapes. Wait, oops. So just carefully select the ones that you want to change the color of. So I'll select these for now. Change the fill to white. And I'll bring the opacity down over here to 50%. Check these. Yep, I missed out one. Fill this with white as well and bring this one opacity down to 50% again. Yeah. So I'll select these bigger ones now. Carefully select the ones, these other highlights. So if you remember, these other highlights had a darker shade of red. Right. Select this, and actually this one as well. And over here in this fill, I'll be using this dark shade and remove the stroke. That. So now you can see it's starting to take a lot better shape. Do not require the stroke. Like that. So I'll select this and do not require the stroke. Like that. So there you go. We have made our lip. As you can see, it's very similar to the one that we've made. But the only difference is that there should be black over here, right? So what I'm going to do is that I'll lock the other two layers as of now. Come back here to this pen tool and change the fill to black. So this is one slight thing I had missed out. Use the pen tool and just make the outline as of now. Wait, Control Z, Control Z. And come up till here and till here. That. Okay. And this portion as well, coming back to the pen tool, making sure that my fill is black. Oops. Wait. Yeah. Make sure you're not selected anything. And just select these. This. That. I'm just going to go ahead and make it like this since it's getting hidden at the back. Da, 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 da. Okay. Like that. Okay, so we've covered up majority of the bits and there you go. Now the last thing we have left to do is go ahead and also save our file. In order to do that, I'll be going to File and clicking on Save As. So by default, the file name is going to be the same as my document name, which was the Ellipse logo, and the Save As type is going to be Adobe Illustrator. I highly recommend that we save a file in this format so that in case if I want to make any further changes, I can easily access my Adobe Illustrator file. Click on Save. Okay. And there you go. So I would like to also thank you again for having the patience to bear with me to make this Ellipse logo. I know it's a little time taking, but just look at it. I mean, it's come out so nice and very similar to the one that we had made over here. Right? So thank you for watching, and with the same tools you can recreate other ones as well, and you can use the same thing as for a logo or as for an illustration as well. So thank you for watching and stay tuned for more.